Hi, welcome to Woodcraft Richmond, and the demo we're going to talk about today is the gripper. The gripper is to make using the table saw much safer. And here's why. When we push a piece of wood through the table saw, we need to have force in three directions at the same time. One direction needs to be down, one direction needs to be against the fence, and one direction needs to be forward. So it's hard to get those three forces going with just your two hands, especially if you're concerned about the blade. You don't want to get cut. You got to make sure something is against the fence. And if you're going to have just a little bit left over, it's not like you can put your fingers there and walk it back. So what the gripper does is allow you to do that very safely. And how it works is we're going to take our piece of wood here and we want to cut it. We want just to cut a small piece off. Doesn't matter. Now, there's some discussions in the woodworking world as where is the safest place to put the push block. This is designed to be either right up against the fence or out here. So if you were doing a piece that you've got some out here and some over here, and you wanted to make sure you control both pieces, but one didn't come back on you, you'd put it out here. This little bite, and this is what you get in the gripper package. The basic package comes like this, and the picture shows you exactly what you get. So this is what you're going to get, and this is for when you want the gripper to be on the outside and even. You're going to loosen that, and this will go down to the deck. And now we've got a really good grab on this because we've got support here. This is really important if you're going to cut a small piece of wood. If we've got a small piece of wood over here, we don't have a good handle. This allows us to make this very, very stable. So we can cut this piece. Now before we cut, this piece is movable. These are stationary. So we want to move this big piece around so that the table saw blade doesn't cut through it. Because if you're not careful, your table saw blade will cut a strip off completely. And now we had to put this on the side to give us support here. And same thing here. Here you can see the table saw blades cutting right through the support. So we want to make sure that doesn't happen. So we want to position the gripper so that the table saw blade doesn't go through any of these support pieces. So what we'll do is we've got this set up for the cut we want to make. We'll put this up here. We'll bring this up, and then we'll just walk over here, and we'll look, and sure enough, we would cut right through this centerpiece. So all we need to do is just move it in one direction or another. Come back, put it here looking at it, and now we're good to go. So if we want to cut this, we know that the gripper won't, this centerpiece won't cut. Now, if we've got a big piece, we'll want to be up here with most of the wood here, because if we go back and try to support it here, you're going to get this. So we always want to be over the table saw itself when we're pressed down. And we've got a big piece, and off we go. So we're going to cut this right now, and you'll see how easy this is. And I want you to notice when we do this that the gripper is holding both pieces. So both pieces are under control. And there we go. A knife safe cut. Gripper had them both under control, and away we go. So this is the basic model. It works very, very well. There's a lot of neat stuff you can do with it. This, if you don't need it to be over the edge, you want to come over here and have it this way. That's no problem. We just want to make sure that this or anything doesn't get cut with the blade. To cut this piece of cake, same thing. Still no problem. This is loose. It's not going to come back at you. At the most it will do is come back this way, but it's not a problem. So, basic gripper. What else can we do with this? Well, we got some attachments we can put on to some different things that we can do. For example, when you buy this kit, you get a thing that you can put on a gripper. So what we're going to talk about here is you get the basic gripper, and you can see from the picture, you're going to get all of this, including this plate at the bottom, and an extra attachment place. Plus you're also going to get a gravity a heel kit. And I'll show you this one set up here. You also get a bridge kit, a branch handle kit, if you want to take two grippers and attach them like this with one handle between. That's what that handle kit is for. You've got a very narrow 1/8 inch to allow you to do that, and a deflector plate that you can put between two grippers this way or two grippers this way to make them all one piece. So what we're going to talk about right now, though, is this heel kit, because this does a very good job. So, this is the heel kit. And basically what it does, it allows us to drop this so that it's below the gripper, and we'll push the wood. You can set it so it's just loose and it falls by itself. It's still strong enough that it's not going to break, and it's going to push the wood through. So this makes a nice little gravity heel kit. Now one thing I want to show you is when you look at this, there's not a lot of room left in here for the table saw blade. And MicroJig understands that this is the only part of the gripper that's designed to be cut through. So they expect this to get chopped to pieces. That's why they give you a bunch of these things. So you can cut through this. That's okay. They sell little extra packages of these, and you can get as many as you want. So this is not as mission critical for us as far as where the blade goes. And the nice part about these is we can move them. If we want to take it to the other side, we just loosen this. Oh, there she goes. And we can bring it on the other side here. We go, this is what attaches to these little grooves here. So we can, on either side, doesn't make any difference. But it's a handy little feature. And just lock it in place if you want, or lock it up if you don't want to use it. This is another thing that they make. This is their gripper block. And I use this for joiners, for band saws. It's really great for resawing on a band saw, as you can put right up against the fence and off you go. It goes this way. This is designed to always be against the fence, and you see these little things right here. These are gravity, so when they drop down, now we've got the wood. So if we wanted to push a wood block through, all we do is put it here, come back, they fall in, and now we've got a nice, solid, keep our hands away from the cut type of thing. In addition to that, another thing I like that these have are these attachments here. In the bigger kit, you'll get this. And what this is it's clean on one side, gripper material on the other. So if I want more gripping area, I can have this, and I've got a bigger footprint. I got more control if I'm using bigger pieces. If I don't need to use it as a gripper, I put it up, and now I've got a slide. So again, with a piece of wood, I can loosen this up, and now I can get, or I can attach other stuff to it. So if I've got a little cut here, I can set this so I've got good stability. Okay, I can push this down and off we go. If I want to bring this to the side this way, again, I'm making a little cut right here. This is against the fence. The table saw blade's going to go there. Without this, hard. This is very difficult to control. With this down, just put it in the middle, same height, lock this in place. Now I can make a very small cut here, very thin cut, perfectly nice support. This is worth its weight in gold just for this, because this is a cut that's very, very dangerous. Your hands are very close to the blade. You're not sure what the wood's going to do. This keeps it nice and safe. In addition to these, you've got this. In the bigger kit, you're going to get these things. This you've already got with your gripper, but you're going to get this. What this is going to allow you to do is you can use this for another support area. And depending on how you put it, you see this little hook right here. This hooks into the wood. So if I've got a big piece and I'm pushing it through, that little hook right there is going to make it much easier to control. I can also, if I don't want to use a hook, attach it this way. And then it's just a regular piece. And I can use this hook if I want to instead. These cutouts right here, go here, go here. Okay, now, while this is all movable, if we wanted to cut this, we would take our wood out away from the fence. All we're doing is setting up the gripper. The first thing we want to do is get and then push it to the side. Is right on this edge, and we're going to lock this in place because it's the right height. Now with this, we're going to use the hooks. We want to bring this back a little bit so the hook is behind. Push this in so that everything is nice and tight. Now tighten these. This is really good if you're cutting thin woods because you've got a lot of nice hold down area here. You can't get away from you. And if we were to cut this one, we're going to look here, move this, come around. We can bring it up and just set it right here. And just make sure that that blade is not going to go through any part of the gripper, and it won't. So if we start back here, we already know about this. We can start here. This hook doesn't have to be behind at the beginning. So what we'll do is just turn this on. Bring this back. Both pieces are under control. I really like that about the gripper. You got both pieces. One's not going to surprise you if it jumps, it falls. We don't want you to reach. Now you've got both of these under control. Okay. This is great for small pieces. If you get a big long piece, then what you're going to be using the gripper. We've got this beautiful piece of cedar, and we want a 2-inch cut. So we're going to set our table saw for 2 inches. We're going to put the wood here to make sure the teeth pop up a little bit. When the gripper is sitting on a piece of wood, it's got an 1.1" clearance right here. You'll never put your blade up an 1.1". All you want is the teeth just coming forward like that. So in this case, it will never be high enough to cut into this. Now, what we want to do is look at this and see where our gripper is going to be. And again, what we're going to do is move the centerpiece. And to move the centerpiece, this might be in the way. It's okay. Take it out. Take our centerpiece, move it to the side, take a look, and almost. There, we're good. This piece of wood, as you can see, is a little bit wobbly. That's no problem. Flip it upside down. Now the wobble's gone. Wood is cupped like this, flip it over. Now you've got 2 points in contact and no wobble. Now we're ready to cut this. Okay? Now, normally when you use a table saw or any type of instrument where you're cutting, you should be wearing safety glasses like I wasn't doing. But here are a pair of safety glasses. Now, as you watch me push this in, watch how I move this back until I've got a good grip right here. But I'm going to start up here. I don't want to start here and do that. I want to start completely over the table saw. Finger right here. Slide her back. Both pieces under control. Your hands away from the blade. It's easy to do. It's adaptable. I can add different features to it. I can add a really narrow piece right here if I'm cutting really thin stock. It just works. And again, safety. The last catch I had, and woodworkers, all woodworkers get catches. I was using something very similar to this. Right about here, and there was a small cut just like this. Right about here, the cut was already done. Small piece of wood, about yay big. Taking about that much off. And right here, I could feel the wood start to move. I could feel it twisting through this. And I'm not a little person, and I put my weight right here just as hard as I could. And I couldn't stop that wood from turning. And next thing I knew, it threw me this way with a big pow and wood everywhere. So that's why you're using these. We don't want our hands here when there's a big pow. Even though I had a catch with this, I didn't get hurt. I mean, I didn't get hurt at all. You're standing here, everything is going this way, keeps your hands away. This is even better because this one, I've got all this surface. There is no wiggles. There's just none of this. Here, you've got this down, but this is a pivot point. So, grippers are wonderful. I highly recommend them. I've got 3 of them in my shop. I've got 2 of these, and I've got 1 of these. And I use this for resawing and both the joiner. It's great at what it does. The nice part about this is if you do happen to cut one or ding one, these parts move, they're interchangeable. Sometimes you just throw them away and you get another one. But this is much easier to replace than these. You have a great day, and thank you for looking. Bye-bye.